Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this June the 26th, 2025. I'm hoping everybody had a great Thursday out there so far. But it's a great Thursday evening. Everybody continue to stay safe and well, and also enjoy the weather because the only weather you got. Alrighty, in tonight's video, we're going to be taking a look at a couple of systems here. We're going to be monitoring possibly something could be getting going down here in the Bay of Campeche. We're going to continue to monitor that. This system here has about a 50 to 70% chance development here, which is now Invest 95E in the Eastern Pacific. We got more activity across South Central America and also South America as well. You can see some scattered activity there. Even got a little system here trying to get going over here in the MDR region. Need to monitor that as it gets closer toward Windward Island. Here's another system right in this area here in the northwestern Caribbean. Need to kind of continue to watch that one. Got a little bit of activity around the Bahamas, also in the Florida region, also the northern Gulf. You can see a little upper level spin right here in the northern Gulf. You can see it kind of right here in the northeastern Gulf, right off the Florida coast in the Big Bend area of Florida. Trying to get a little area of low pressure there. This one that came across yesterday should be located across North Florida, but you can see it move slowly into the Big Bend area of Florida right there. Got more activity across Mexico, stretching into the New Mexico and Texas region as well. Got more activity across southeast Texas to Louisiana, over here in North Georgia, also in the portions of western North Carolina and Tennessee, Kentucky, all the way up toward Michigan, Ohio region, portions of Pennsylvania, and also DC area. Got more activity stretching into portions of Nebraska, Kansas, all the way into Minnesota, Minnesota and the Great Lakes region. Excuse me about that, getting ahead of myself there. But anyway, got some activity across Montana, also in the portions of Washington State, and got another system out in the Eastern Pacific that will be moving in that direction. And you can see more activity also scattered about in the Eastern Pacific region as well. But right now, the Hurricane Center is watching the Bay of Campeche. Is something may be getting going there soon. The Climate Prediction Center has nothing highlighted at this time, only just in the Eastern Pacific. But we may have to continue to monitor something. Could get going here. Need to monitor this system here also in the northwestern Caribbean Sea as well. So just want to give you a heads up on that. We'll show you that at the end of this video. So make sure you subscribe if you have not. Also like these videos, share these videos, and also if you like them, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell notification so that way when my forecast is issued, you will get it right to the point. Alright, let's take a look at the forecast for you Friday. We got some thunderstorms and showers from New Brunswick to Maine to New Jersey to Pennsylvania to DC to the Carolinas to Florida and the Florida Keys, Atlantic coastal waters from Maine all the way to the east coast of Florida, the northern Gulf from the Florida Keys back southeast Texas, and then from Georgia to Texas to New Mexico all the way to Nebraska, south and North Dakota, over here around Lake Erie, Lake Superior, around Michigan, Wisconsin, back to Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, and portions of Colorado. Shower activity over here across southwestern Canada, stretching into Washington, Oregon State, and also the Eastern Pacific. A little bit of heavy rain, flash flooding over portions of northern New York State, northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and southwestern, or well, you could say western portions of Maine. Also got some severe thunderstorm possible through the Dakota down in the Nebraska portion of Minnesota. Otherwise, expect dry high pressure to remain in charge of your local forecast area for your Friday. Alright, here's your Saturday forecast. You can see we got thunderstorms and showers from New Brunswick to Maine to New Hampshire to Vermont, all the way down to New York State, Pennsylvania to DC to the Carolinas, Florida, and then from east coast of Florida to Maine and the Atlantic coastal waters. Then again from western Florida, Florida Keys, all the way back southeast Texas, northern Mexico through Texas, all the way into the Dakotas, Montana, Utah, Idaho, portion of Washington State, also Montana, through the Dakotas, back over toward Lake Superior, northern Michigan, Wisconsin. Shower activity up here in Washington State. Got some severe weather across South Dakota, Nebraska, portion of Iowa, and also Minnesota. We'll talk about that sooner we get to the Storm Prediction Center outlook. Alright, otherwise, expect dry high pressure to remain in charge of your local forecast area for your Saturday. Alright, let's move on to the current watch and warning advisory map you're locating across the nation. And it's going to look something like this here. And you can see we got heat advisories up here in portions of Pennsylvania, eastern North Carolina, southeast Virginia, around the Charlotte area. Supposed to be portions of Ohio, Indiana, southern Michigan, Illinois, Missouri, also Arkansas through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, northwest Georgia, Tennessee. You're included. Excessive heat warning is also in effect for portions of southeast Ohio, western Virginia. Also, we got severe thunderstorm watches and warnings ongoing for Virginia and Pennsylvania. Flood watches there as well. Coastal flood warnings along coastal areas. Even got some flood advisory across North Carolina. Again, over here in portions of Oklahoma. Also in the portions of New Mexico, North Texas. Also got some tornado watches, ongoing tornado warnings. Flood watches in effect from Wisconsin, stretching into portions of Minnesota. Also portion of Iowa, and also portion of Missouri. Severe thunderstorm watches and warnings there in Missouri and Iowa. Flood warnings in effect for South Dakota, Nebraska, portions of Kansas. Also in the portion, like I said, in portions of Oklahoma. River flood warnings still continue for Arkansas, East Texas, Louisiana, portion of Mississippi. Excessive heat watches in effect for South areas of Arizona. Also, we got some red flag warnings there. Special weather statements in effect for portion of New Mexico. Wyoming, also Montana. Flood watches there as well. Also, we got some small craft advisory, gale warning from around the New York City area. And then again from Southern California to Oregon State. Also, coastal flood warning, advisory around the Hawaii and Chain Island. Small craft advisory around the Alaska region. Alright, let's move on to the Storm Prediction Center outlook. This is for your Friday. It's going to look something like this. We got general thunderstorm from up here from Watertown to Columbia, South Carolina, Savannah, Georgia, Brownsville, Texas, all the way to El Paso, all the way far north as Great Falls, Montana. Marginal risk from just north of McCook over to a Grand Fort, then Valentine to Minute. Slight risk to another marginal risk from Fort Wayne to Detroit, then all the way from Pittsburgh to Roanoke to Charlotte to Chattanooga, around the Greenville, Spartanburg area, Atlanta, Dalton, down to Fort Myers, Orlando to New Orleans. Marginal risk tornado probability looks like this: 2% across the Dakotas. Damaging winds look like this: 5 and 15% across the board up here in North and South Dakota to Nebraska, and then 5% from Pennsylvania to Florida, and then up here around Michigan to Ohio and also Indiana. Let's see, large hail going to look like this up here through the Dakotas. There's the significant area of large hail. Will be around Bismarck to Pierre areas as well. Alright, move on to day number 3. That's going to look something like this. Okay, should be coming up here in a minute. Alrighty, still waiting. Here we go. Alright, marginal risk from Richmond, Virginia up to Albany, New York to just south of Burlington, McCook to Grand Forks, and then Norfolk to Pierre to Minneapolis. That's the 15% risk area. Minute to El Paso to Fort Myers, Columbia to Buffalo to Portland, Maine. General thunderstorm probability is going to look like this: 5 and 15% respectively. Alright, let's move on to the National Hurricane Center. We're going to take a look at the tropics. Okay, here's that system I was talking about. You can see it over here. Looks to move over here. 10% chance of development over the next 48 hours and 20% over the next 7 days. Bay of Campeche, an area of shower and thunderstorm currently over the northwestern Caribbean Sea and adjacent land areas, expected to move west-northwestward into the Bay of Campeche Saturday or Saturday night. A low pressure system could form after that time if the system remains over water. That's why I said 10 and 20%. Alright, let's take a look at the Eastern Pacific. We'll show you that system as well. That's the one that has a 50 and 70% chance of development, I think. Yeah. Here it is, offshore Mexico coast, EP 95. You can see shower and thunderstorm. If I can get it to stay. Alright, there the shower and thunderstorm associated with a broad area of low pressure located a few hundred miles south of the Gulf of I'm not even going to pronounce that name. Remain disorganized. Environmental conditions are forecast to become more conducive for development for the next couple of days, and a tropical depression is expected to form by late this weekend while the system moves slowly west-northwestward over the coast of southern Mexico. Formation chance 48 hours is medium 50%. Formation chance through 7 days, high 90%. Alright, well, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe if you have not. Like these videos, share these videos, and we'll catch you back in the next one. So have a wonderful Thursday evening, folks. Take care and also enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got.